Collectivity doesn't mean that we all should be stuck together with some glue or something, or we all become like Gibraltar, rock of Gibraltar. No, it doesn't mean that. It means wherever you are connected. That is collectivity. But if you are not connected and you are just glued together, it's very inconvenient to live under such circumstances. I think people don't even understand the meaning of collectivity. Where there's not the other, ananya, where there's not the other, there's no other personality. These personalities are separated from you because of left and right, or could be both. But you are yourself fully when you are absolutely detached and your kundalini is dancing. You are alone and never alone. This oneness with the whole gives you all the security that you want, all the joy you want. And that's why Kundalini awakening means collectivity. Unless and until you want pure collectivity in your being, Kundalini won't rise. So now, let us see how do we miss out on collectivity. It's a very practical, down-to-earth understanding. First, we must know without collectivity we cannot exist. As the body has to be in connection with the brain, in the same way, without collectivity, Sahaja Yoga cannot exist. Once you understand that, then you have to work it out that collectivity is absolutely established within and without. I do not know what thing comes first in the human mind about another person. But the first thing is that these are your real relations. And nobody else are your relations. These children are your children, and these men are your brothers, and these ladies are your sisters, and we are one big family together. We are part and parcel of one body. As this hand cannot hit another hand, thank God it doesn't think. Otherwise, as human beings, they might start thinking against another hand. But they don't, because they are connected to one brain activity. So, we can see that when we ascend in the collective consciousness, and we have collective living, collective meeting, at the Vishuddhi Chakra, Sri Krishna established this, or he manifested this pure relationship of a sister. In a collective life that we have, in the ashram where we live, where we move about at Sahaja Yoga, if we do not have this basic principle within us, there will be a chaos. complete chaos. Once this purity of relationship is established, that apart from my wife, all the rest are my sisters or mothers. It cannot be a proper society. And the chaos of the social system of America is because they have no sense of pure relationships. Once you call somebody a sister, she's a sister. And once you call somebody a brother, she's a brother. It's not only that you should be born of the same parents. It's not necessary. But this is a very important principle to have a very pure society where everybody can live peacefully. Think of the tree which is, say, in a turmoil or during earthquake. It won't grow. When the earthquake stops, everything becomes quiet, everything is peaceful, then only the tree can grow. In the same way, our growth can only take place if we are peaceful within ourselves. So, for a Kundalini growing wider and wider and rising higher and higher, first thing is we must have peace within ourselves. But this peace is possible if you can make really peace with others. If you cannot make peace with others who are in Sahaja Yoga, who are in the collective, if you are in a turmoil, this Kundalini can never rise. That is why collectivity is so important. Without collectivity, your Vishuddhi cannot open. And without collectivity, you cannot have the growth of your spirituality. If the growth of the spirituality, as they say, the tree of life is upside down and the roots are in the brain. And this Kundalini has to go and water that brain. As we water the roots, then it starts flowing downward. And that's how we start expanding. Now, Mother has said we have to have compassion. Now, where do you have our compassion? On the walls, where do we use our compassion? Where do we use our compassion? So, Sahaja Yoga is to be practiced doesn't mean that you sit down with my photograph all the time. It doesn't mean that. It means you practice compassion. You practice that. Then you have to practice love. Now, how do you practice love with others? If you love someone, what do? You try to please that person. Small things can make people very happy. I know you all try to please me very much. You'll give me presents, you'll find out things which are good for me, you'll go out of the way, buy sweet flowers for me. Beautiful things you do to please me. I am over pleased, I must tell you. But I am more pleased, much more pleased, if you understand collectivity and try to please each other. So now the practice love, where do you practice? Ask you a question. Where do I practice love? What do I love? We love our house, we love our photographs, our decorations, everything. But do I practice this love on my wife or on my husband or on other Sahaja Yogis? In our Sahaja culture, we have to practice compassion and love. And thirdly, we have to practice patience. I know some children are maybe little more mischievous, some are less mischievous. Maybe some people are very talkative. Sometimes really they give me also a headache. They go on talking so much. Sometimes I think it's good because it's a rest for my mouth. One way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is just switch off your mind, let him talk, take it out, whatever he wants to talk. Once he is finished with it and fagged out, then he won't bother you much. And also he'll feel satisfied that somebody has listened to his prattles. So patience is needed. And patience is needed in such a way that others should see your patience. Yesterday, for example, I was sitting for about, 3 hours shaking hands with all sorts of people and all types of problems. And the person who came last, he said, looking at your patience, I developed my own patience. And love gives you patience. This love nourishes you. I'm telling you, it's absolutely down to earth method. Here I have not mentioned that you trust God. I'm just saying trust yourself. Absolutely down to earth, because we are talking about your brain. So today's understanding should be that we all should become collective from inside. We should not grudge or grumble about it and enjoy the collectivity. But the second side of collectivity is this, that do not try to exploit the collectivity. Otherwise you will be in trouble. Like I've seen some people don't know how to use their bathrooms. When you are collective, you have to be respecting the collectivity of others. By your presence, another person should not by any chance suffer, or should not feel in any way insulted or inconvenienced. So when you are in the collective, it should be such that another person should enjoy your company, enjoy your being there. That's something where there is no problem. But if you are demanding and if you are asking for things and you think no end of yourself, you cannot at all collective by any chance, but you will suffer for that. Automatically you will suffer. If this is realized and understood properly, your aga is solved. Like anger. People always boast, I'm very angry with you. Boast. But just make that anger into forgiveness. And you'll see the person, instead of you getting into problems, he will get into problems. Anger will upset you, but forgiveness will upset him automatically. It's the biggest weapon you have got, is to forgive. And this is shown in Buddha's character throughout. Now we have been saying that we have to forgive everyone. But we don't practice that. Small things like mad people we remember. Only I had heard that snake has this capacity to remember if somebody has hurt him. But here I find human beings have no less capacity. Whatever has happened 13 years back, 15 years back, they all remember each and everything. Whatever has hurt them. But how they have hurt others, they don't remember. How they have been nasty to others, don't remember. Because this is a human mind which has got the ego. It can go on hurting others, it doesn't feel anything. And the superego which goes on receiving all the hurts and always complaining about it. Don't criticize the collectivity till I myself find it out and I'll put it right. Keep to the collectivity wisely and earnestly and try to keep the collectivity together. Try to help to keep the people collective, to enjoy together. Don't criticize each other. Only criticize yourself if you are in the habit of criticism. Better criticize yourself is better, because these are habits also. People, especially I have seen people in the West, they react to everything. If they see this carpet, oh, I don't like it. But this is not yours, you have not paid for you, what have you got to do with it? No, I don't like it. But it's not yours. What's the question? It's lying here, why should you be so upset about it? I don't like that person. I don't like that dress. Who are you? I don't like. This is not allowed in Sahaja Yoga. I don't like. There is a way of saying things. But there is no need to say anything whatsoever. So all this kind of bumptiousness and showing off is against collectivity. So try to appreciate everything. Children are producing pictures, paintings anyway. They make sometimes my face is very funny when they draw. Not the children, even grown-ups. Doesn't matter. I appreciate it. It's very good, wonderful, very nice. To encourage that person. So criticism should go out of our mind, but appreciation should be practiced. Appreciation of others' children, appreciation of other people is very important. But that doesn't mean that you appreciate all others and torture your wife or torture your husband. That also is an imbalance. First responsibility is your family, but you should appreciate others. And this comes when you have no jealousies about anyone. This jealousy, I don't know from where it comes. I don't know this quality of jealousy, why there is jealousy. So also if you have jealousy, you have to use it for the right purpose. And what is the right purpose is that you should be jealous of a person who is spiritually higher than you. And you practice it that you become better. If jealousy is for competition, then you compete with a person who is more compassionate, more loving, more sacrificing, more patient. So this competition becomes a very healthy competition and the collectivity becomes very nourished. Now the worst enemy of collectivity is aggressiveness. Some people are basically aggressive. Their style of talking is extremely aggressive. The way they say things is aggressive. Maybe because anything. Maybe they are better educated. Maybe they come from a very aggressive family. Maybe they are having a kind of a superiority complex or an inferiority complex or a sense of insecurity. or maybe they are possessed. They try to dominate and show their very strong feelings towards people of superiority. They may be inferior. It's not necessary, but they do. And this is something is to be curbed. So what you have to practice here is humility. Try to be humble. Humility is that in no way you try to aggress others. And if others are aggressive, you accept it as a childish thing, as a stupid thing, as a foolish thing, has no meaning. Because you are so powerful, you can bear it. That is humility which you have to practice. And all these qualities, if you have, you will really be surprised that you will lose your selfishness. Only way to grow is to be collective. There's no other way out. If people think that by staying away from ashrams, alone living somewhere, they will achieve much, that's not the way Sahaja Yoga is meant. Formerly, people used to go to Himalayas, and most of them were separated, and only 1 or 2 persons were chosen for spiritual growth. Here it is not question of spiritual growth. It is a question of your collectivity growing in you. That is how you become a person who is collective, who enjoys collective, who works on collective and lives with collective. Such a person develops new kind of powers. And these powers are such that they are very subtle, but they penetrate into any molecule, atom, or human beings anywhere. And their penetration is only possible if you have a temperament which is collective. Without being fully collective, you cannot achieve that height which is very necessary today for Sahaja Yoga.
Why sometimes the chakras, the same chakras, you feel that more on the legs than on the hands?
Its integration is not there, that's why. You have to attend collectively. You have to become more collective. The body has to be collective. The thing is, if you are not a collective person, then sometimes you'll feel them on the legs, sometimes on the heart, sometimes in the head. That's not a good thing. You should try to become more collective, should meet more people, take more interest. You see, the body of yours won't work out efficiently unless and until you use it. Because individually, you see, if you work out, it will not develop collectively. Because where are you using it? You are correcting yourself to give it to others. And if you don't give it, if you do not work it out in a collective way, there's no circulation. Meditating together is the best way to feel the collectivity. You can meditate at home, of course, you have to cleanse it for your depth, but also you must meditate together. And when you meditate together, then the strength that you have strengthens others, and the strength of the whole collectivity improves so much. We are meditating together is a very big thing. Everyone has to understand that whenever you get time, you find out in the morning times, for example, we'll go to the ashram and meditate. Say Sunday morning, we'll just go and meditate in the ashram. Just for meditation you have to come. Meditate and go away. Because I reside in this ashram. I am here. So leave your homes, come here and meditate. Meditation will help you a lot. Wherever you are together, I am with you. But when you are away from each other, I am not with you. Only in difficulties, when you are pushed into some places where I am not there, where you think I am not there, I am there. But if you deliberately are keeping out of collectivity, I am not with you. So try to grow your collectivity, otherwise you cannot go deep into your own depths. You cannot become a great Sahaja, you cannot really be called a Sahaja. Those who have a sense of collectivity can only become that. Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangha means collectivity. I surrender myself to the collectivity. So here, in complete awareness, you cannot be mesmerized. If you are mesmerized, then you can live whatever way you like. But in complete awareness and full understanding, we have to become collective. But once you are without ego, means you have surrendered yourself. No one can cheat you. Can you understand that? No one can cheat you. Because there is some higher force which is looking after. This is the way we should understand Buddha. This is, we should know our Buddha qualities. This is how our ego can be dissolved. When you say, Mother, we surrender to you, that just means that you give this horrible ego a complete holiday. It means that. That is how this ego disappears. And I think all your just now, ragas are opened out, most of you, somehow. And then you laugh at everything. You make fun of yourself. Just enjoy everything. Last but not the least, one must understand that as all the 7 chakras I am working on are in a collective way held by me, by Virata, the quality of Viratangana is that she creates this universal awareness within us, the collectivity. And if you do not realize that in modern times we are in a spiritual path, in a collective way only, this is what it is. Because we have reached to the state of Sastra. And here we have to have a collective working only, there's no other way out. This is the most important point we must know. If we cannot be collective, because of anything, jealousy maybe, inferiority complex, maybe anything which is coming from behind, like a worm crawling up, then know that something wrong with you, nothing wrong with the collectivity. I hope you'll understand my vision and you'll stand by me. And you'll come up to that. I depend on you entirely for my vision. We have to change this whole world into a beautiful place. For that, not much sacrifice is needed. You are already blessed. You don't have to do much. only thing is keep your attention on the source of power. May God bless you. Thank you. Patya says we promise. We all say that. Thank you very much.